What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Swolverine video series where I am going to be showing you how to get huge jacked man shredded. Today we are stood outside of Asda. We're about to head in and do a food shop. Now, as I mentioned, I'm going to be taking a carnivore approach to my nutrition for the 8 weeks of this program. So I'm going to show you what we're going to be picking off of the shelves and maybe what we're not going to be picking off of the shelves. Anyway, let's head inside and show you what it's all about. Okay, so first thing that I want to mention, the fact that I'm doing this carnivore diet, there are no vegetables. Now, I don't want to go too far into this. If you want to find out more about the carnivore diet, then follow Carnivore MD on Instagram. His name's Paul Saladino. I have his book. And very, very interesting, but there's an interesting take on why you shouldn't eat vegetables. I won't go into it, but we are going to be eating lots and lots of fruit. So, as most people are, I'm a little bit inherently lazy when it comes to preparation. So I want pre-prepared fruit. I don't want to have to spend time chopping it, weighing it, cutting it. I just want to be able to scan this, know exactly what I'm having. So these are pretty much going to be eaten after my kind of main meals, which are going to be a high protein source, be that the steak, be that the eggs. But yeah, we got melon and grapes. So strawberries, we're going to go in lots and lots of strawberries. As I said, a lot of fruit, which this basket is showing already. Okay, here we go. So we're on to the meat section now. Now, from a meat standpoint, I'm wanting lots and lots of red meat, okay? So mainly, we're gonna be having lean steak mince. So typically I will go for around 5% fat steak mince. If your calories are gonna be a little bit higher, then you can get away with a higher fat meat percentage, but 5% for me on the steak mince. Moving on to the steaks. I've been having sirloin steak.
That was quite funny actually.
Moving on to the steaks. I meant that honestly. There are so many different cuts of steak. I typically tend to go for sirloin. It's a favorite of mine. I've never really had a bad cut of sirloin steak. If I'm honest, you know, when you do look into the carnivore diet, they want you to go more raw, organic, and grass-fed. But I'm not going to overthink it. As I say, I'm not going to get too zealous on this approach with the carnivore diet. So we're just going to go with a regular sirloin steak. Okay, here we go. How many grams is this? 227. Perfect. 2 for £8. Bargain. That's the price. So, the way that my diet's going to work, I'm going to be following pretty much a structured split Monday through Friday. The only slight variation is that a couple of days a week I am going to throw in some salmon instead of my sirloin steak for the evening meal. But then at a weekend we're going to throw in a fakeaway. So still kind of sticking with the carnivore approach, we're going to go with lean burgers, which we like to do. Just a bit of a fakeaway. I think that if you try and keep your diet way too strict and don't give yourself that little bit of flexibility and freedom to have a little bit of what you want, the likelihood of you rebounding after a diet phase is incredibly high. You know, all of the foods that you deprive yourself of during a diet down phase, come the end of your preparation, it's going to be like you're let out of the bag. Oh. You're going to want to consume everything inside, all the burgers, all the pasta, the garlic breads, all the things that you haven't had. So I never like to do that, you know, work in a little bit of what we want, keep it strict through the week when we're busy, when we've got structure and routine with our lives, it's easy to do. But then at the weekend, you know, just relax it a bit, have a fake away, don't let it become too detrimental. And for me, that's worked incredibly well for so many years now. And I've never really rebounded since the first time I dieted down back in 2014. Here we go. Okay, so here we have the lean burgers. Now, I will add a bread bun with this. We'll have a brioche seeded bun, lightly toasted. We'll add some bacon on here, we'll add some cheese. We'll do some fries on the side, which will just be typical standard oven fries, plenty of salt on there, which will make for a really good fakeaway, and that's what we'll do the weekend. Like I say, I'll be showing you full days of eating, so we'll save that for later down the line. Okay, so we are at the free from section. which is for all the weirdos like me, my sister also, who's gluten intolerant. This is our aisle, this is where we come to. So, free from gluten, milk, egg, soya, lactose. So, first things first, milk, of course. So much milk, use so much milk with coffees, with so many things that we eat. So I opt for the Arla lactose free. So that's gonna go in there. We also wanna go for Greek yogurt, which, oh, they do have. I didn't think they had then for a second. Lactose-free Greek yogurt. Now, I will get through a full pot of this every single day, which has over, I think it's over 45 grams of protein in the whole tub, which is pretty damn good. So, yeah, we're getting through one of these a day. When it comes to cheese, it depends. I'm a huge fan of cheese anyway, and I do like to work it in, but if I can remove some of the calories, then typically if I'm in a diet down phase, I will. If I'm in a build phase, I'll go full fat cheese, because why the heck not? But here at Asda, they do a 50% less fat grated cheese, which, if we're gonna remove some of the fat, we'll remove some of the calories, we still get the cheese. It tastes great, it doesn't taste strange or anything. So this is what I will be opting for this prep. With my omelette in the morning, I'm gonna be using unsmoked, reduced fat bacon medallions. Now, I will chop these up, fry them off, throw in the eggs, throw in the cheese, and that will be my morning breakfast. Now, these are just so good. These are so good, so lean, really, really high in protein, and make it taste really good. And that's always a key thing. Like, don't get this twisted. I love food. So, always going for super satiating, wholesome ingredients, but tasty. Has to be tasty. If you don't look forward to your food, then what the heck are you doing it for? You know, you don't want to put yourself through hell. I love the C.T. Fletcher quote about you're not dieting for taste.
Not dieting for fucking taste, motherfucker. You dieting for the results that dieting is gonna give you. Shut the fuck up and eat that shit.
Whilst I agree, you're dieting for the results, if it tastes like crap, you're gonna quit very quickly. Okay, so as I mentioned, a couple of days a week for my evening meal, I will be having salmon. Now, we want to get in those omega-3s, and it's nice to mix up the meals. Like, you don't want things to become too monotonous. I'm a big fan of having that consistency with the food that we're eating, under the premise that we don't want to have too many variables. If we have too many moving parts, too many variables, it's really easy for things to become confusing, it's easy for things to go wrong, whereas if every day is there or thereabouts the same, with the exception of a few tweaks and changes here and there, we're far more likely to be consistent. It removes the guessing game, and we can just follow the blueprint. Like I say, we don't typically shop here at Asda. When we shop, usually we shop at Aldi, and they do a microwave salmon, which makes life so much easier. You can put these in the oven, which is fine, but the microwave ones just make life simpler, and I'm all for that. If we can make things easier and we can get in, get out, then why the heck not? So there you have it. Okay, so part number one of the very finite amount of carbs that I'll be consuming. Dates. Dates are absolutely incredible, packed full of carbs. They taste phenomenal as well. And I'm gonna be having these pre-workout. So there's 200 grams in here. I'm gonna be having 50 grams pre-workout. We'll get a few of these. And then part two to the very finite amount of carbs that I'm gonna be having, we're gonna have orange juice, like squeezed orange juice, intra-workout, so whilst we are training. So just a quick one on intra-workout. When we're training, we're obviously losing glycogen from the muscle, so we want to replenish that to help us, you know, recover whilst we're training, have a little bit more glycogen stored to train with, so we want to replace it. Now, typically I would replace this with some sort of, you know, high glycemic carb powder, maltodextrin, any of those powders, or what I've typically been using out of ease is using Lucozade, like orange Lucozade. It's glucose, that's all we need. We need glucose. But seeing as though we're going in on the carnivore, we're gonna be having some juice whilst training. Okay, the final piece of the puzzle with the carbohydrate sources that we're gonna be consuming, caramel rice cakes. Lots and lots of caramel rice cakes. Again, shouldn't really be consumed on the carnivore diet, but again, I'm not gonna go too zealous. And man needs his carbohydrates, and these are a pretty clean, simple way of getting them in. You can have them as a snack. You can kind of, you know, drip feed them throughout the day, pre-workout, intra, post, whatever you wanna have. These are a great shout. Thank you, you too. Okay, so we tried to guess what the pricing was going to be. £99 for a week's worth of shopping. It's £400 a month, so you got to have some cash to do this damn diet. Something that I will do in the future, because I've been doing this for so long now, I have done this on a shoestring budget back in the day. Like when I first started training, age 14, 15, 16, like I definitely didn't have £400 a month to throw into my into my diet. So I think later down the line, I will do a series where I come shopping and how to get big or to get shredded on a budget. I think that'd be a great series. Okay guys and girls, so there you have it. That is my Swolverine diet. This is pretty much what I'm going to be following over the next 8 weeks. I will show you exactly what this looks like with a full day of eating, including the fakeaways and everything that I'm going to be having. But for now, I'll catch you in the next video.